Hello everybody, welcome back to another One Piece chapter review and discussion. Today we'll be talking about chapter 1087, which is the first chapter in about a month, but with that all said and done, let's jump into this. Okay, so firstly I'd quickly like to discuss the cover of the chapter, which shows Ace with two capybaras, both having a bath, while Ace lights up a cigar for one of them. I have no idea why a capybara is smoking. I have no idea how he got the cigar. Maybe Ace gave it to him. Why is Ace giving capybaras cigars? I don't know, but I bet he's having a whale of a time. So I'm just going to let this capybara do what he wants. Probably not good for the capybara, but hell, if he wants to get smoked, that's his choice to make. But with that said and done, let's get on to the actual chapter. So, at the beginning of this chapter, we learn a little bit more about Garp and how he became as strong as he is today, and the way he did it is by punching what is referred to in the chapter as battleship bags, which are like punching bags, only that they're battleships, not punching bags, and he punched them every day for decades, without even using hockey, which is pretty impressive because in the chapter, you can quite clearly see that they are absolutely and utterly destroyed. And the fact that he did this without hockey, it adds up after how strong we've seen he is. And as it states in the chapter, he wasn't born strong, he worked for it. So I think that adds a bit to Garp's character. I was quite happy to see that, you know? But now we actually cut back to the fight on Pirate Island, where we see Sanjuan Wolf get absolutely bodied and sink to the bottom of the ocean, smacking his head against a rock and a shark seeing him, looking pretty shocked. To be fair, if I saw Sanjuan Wolf and I was a shark, I think I'd be pretty shocked as well. But we also see Vasco Shot spitting fire. Didn't know fishmen could do that. Probably quite bad for his skin. But, you know, his liver's pretty messed up anyway, so he may as well be spitting fire. However, Vasco Shot's ball of fire didn't really matter that much, because Garp basically blocked it with ease by picking up a human shield of 3 great pirates to use to block the fire. Worked a treat, while all of the other pirates sat there in pure terror as they wondered when their death would come, as Garp single-handedly continued to wipe the floor with just about every pirate on Pirate Island, making it look a little too easy, and honestly a bit mean. But while all that is happening, we do actually cut back to Garp's ship, which is currently fleeing with a couple of prisoners on it. Well, I don't know about fleeing, but they're at least moving a bit away from the island, maybe just circling it, while they also try and unfreeze Hibari, because she's still frozen solid, thanks to someone. Not naming any names, Aokiji. However, we cut straight back to Garp, who is currently with Helmeppo, Gruss, and Kobe, and it's not looking good for them. They are surrounded by pirates on all sides, and may or may not have Aokiji coming straight for them, so not looking good for them. And no matter how many pirates they take down, 5 more come after them. So, yeah, they're not looking good for them. Although, at this point, you know, Garp and Co. probably have a good chance of escaping. You know, Garp may be facing Aokiji, but Garp is extremely strong. He could probably force his way past and get everyone through. However, Kobe makes a very bad mistake. Tries to save a poor woman who's being attacked by a pirate. Although, he already got all of the prisoners. That also was a pirate. The woman was a pirate. So, he tried saving someone by accident. Garp stepped in, and Shiryu stabbed Garp in the stomach, which is not good. This may be the most fatal injury Garp has had throughout the entire series. And let's hope this doesn't mean Garp gets defeated, because I'm not ready for him to go yet. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter, because right afterwards, Garp punches Shiryu and absolutely mops the floor with him. So, night-night Shiryu, you got beaten without Garp even having to use hockey, so really does go to show you're not as powerful as we all thought you were. Next, we actually learn that Garp has a bounty on his head with Cross Guild, which isn't surprising, as we already know most Marines have a bounty on their head, unless, you know, they're just a common soldier. But Garp has a 3 crown bounty, which is about equivalent to 3 billion berries. So, you know, big bounty on his head. So, pirates start rushing at him because now he's bleeding out. But Aokiji simply states, even if he was missing a leg, you still wouldn't be able to beat him. Which it is pretty accurate. Then we get a very small flashback, only about a page long, where we see Garp take on Aokiji as somewhat of a student when they were both much younger. Garp not being an old man, and I don't know, Aokiji not being in his 40s, but turns out they were both punching the battleship bags, which means they're probably both at a very similar level of skill currently, especially seeing as Garp has been getting old. We then cut back to what's actually happening, with Garp and Aokiji punching each other, Garp seemingly punching Aokiji in the chin, and Aokiji seemingly punching Garp in the forehead. But it only lasts for a single second, as they both get pushed back in a huge explosion, and they both land on their arse. On the first page, we first see Hibari, now unfrozen, asking where Kobe is, slightly hinting at, she likes him. Again, as if that wasn't already very noticeable. But Hibari's up, but probably should have stayed asleep, because it's not looking good for anyone, because Pizarro, having the Isle fruit, just up and decides, yeah, I'm gonna have an arm now. And turns out there's an arm and legs to Pirate Island. They're just underwater, and he pulls out one of the arms from underwater and goes to actually fly swap their ship. Not good. Very not good, because Garp is not there. Garp can't just destroy the hand. However, he does say justice will prevail, whatever that means. To me, it just sounded like, yeah, it'll be alright, mate. You'll be alright. Sorry for my terrible Australian accent. That was shite. I apologise. I'm sorry. I'll be entirely honest with you. I'm not even sure why I went for the Australian accent. I just, went with it, and whatever accent came out, came out. But that's besides the point. This is the end of the chapter. Very good chapter overall. I think Oda's paneling was a lot better this chapter. I think he has been struggling with paneling a lot. I think it's just because he wants to get through the series as much as possible, so he's not going to do any widespread panels, which is understandable, but it does make it a little harder to follow when the paneling is all over the place. But paneling here was, I think, pretty good. I've got no big complaints about it. But yeah, that is the end of the chapter. Great chapter as usual. And yeah, hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and I will see you next time.